to my channel. Like seriously guys, I like the way I'm looking this one. Oh my god. If you're new to my channel, my name is Adama. Welcome to the Momistic Life Vlog channel, where I share my ordinary life as a mom, a wife, living in Germany, and who comes all the way from Nigeria. This video is long overdue. I had always wanted to film this video since I think a month ago that I watched this movie Citation. If you have not seen this movie on Netflix, go and watch it. Like, this is what is happening in Nigerian universities. It's nothing new because it's been happening since I was in the university, and I'm sure it's been happening even before then. But why? Hold on a minute. Wait. Okay guys, like this is something that has been happening like way back. It's nothing new in the Nigerian university. I think it's actually really calming down a little bit more now, but back then it was so much. So let's just face this movie Citation. This is a movie on Netflix that like everybody needs to watch. Citation is a movie that was kind of set or cast. I don't know all these movie terms, okay? Like just take me like that. The movie like literally took place in a university boardroom court. So it was just this young 21-year-old who had already graduated. So she was basically doing a graduate course, and she was a very intelligent girl. This part was played by Temiotedola. If you guys know her, like I didn't even know her before, and like now she's one of my best actresses out there, okay? Like she's young and she's very talented. So this movie has like a whole lot of amazing actors and actresses. Let me just mention but a few. The Citation cast is basically made up of Temiotedola, upcoming Nigerian actress. I don't think she's upcoming anymore because her very first movie, which is the Citation, like it made a blow out there. So she's no longer upcoming. She's amazing, and also she's an entrepreneur. I've been following her like since I watched Citation. I don't know how somebody that young could be like that intelligent. It's, you know, it's not just being intelligent you know, in school or something. I know she's very like, she is like an all-rounder. You need to like check her out, and also just go and watch Citation first before you start anywhere. So then the next person is Jimmy Jean-Louis. You guys know I don't speak French, so just take me like that. So he acted as Professor Lucien, who is in fact the bad guy in the movie. And then there is Joke Silva, Gabriel Afolayan, and Iniedo. In fact, Iniedo's part was just like a messed up part for me. It's the role she had to play, right? This young lady, of course, she was 21. And like I said before, the movie took place in a school boardroom court, and they were kind of, you know, remembering every other thing that happened in the movie, which I also find very interesting, and it was well played out and everything. So Temiotedola name here in this movie was Moremi, and Moremi is a very intelligent girl who had studied abroad in France, now in Nigeria for her master's degree. So, you know, she was very exposed. She was very exposed, especially in things of international relations. And, you know, she was always answering questions in the class, and she was always like ready to also ask questions to know more. So this particular professor, who is also new in the school and now their lecturer, picked interest from the very first day he set his eyes on Moremi, which was also the very first day he came into their class, he came to the school or whatever. And in fact, so Professor Lucien was, you know, this very annoying lecturer, or this very annoying man, you know, that is always doing something to pick on Moremi just to get her attention, just to get her to do something. And this man like went out of his way in several other ways, you know, just to make sure that he was always like in close contact with Moremi, just because he actually wanted to have his way with her. And he was always, but he didn't really go directly. He was just trying to kind of lure her. On Moremi's part, I think what she did wrong was that she was just acting so naively. I don't know, like at some point in the movie, I just wanted to like give her a blow. Like someone is sending a message, and you already finished your first degree in a university outside Nigeria, and you tell me that you don't actually know what the person is doing. Like somebody like me, I always read people. Like, what the next thing you want to do, I already know it. Even if that's not what you have in mind, I'll be like, okay, this is what this person wants to, this is what this person wants to do, and I'll give my space. But Moremi never ever gave any kind of space. She just kept going, as Professor Lucien was luring her and trying to get at her and trying to get her close to him. She was also like, willing and, kind of going and kind of like leaning towards that. There were several cases where Moremi will find herself in a very uncomfortable position, and she would then kind of be thinking of a way to like pull herself out. But personally, I just thought in the movie, like when I was watching the movie and I hadn't watched it to the end, I thought to myself, okay, so Moremi wants this, why is she not going for it? Even though the professor said he was married and all that, the professor just had a complicated life. Moremi had a school boyfriend, I think his name was Dejo, if I'm not wrong. So Moremi had a school boyfriend, a final year medical student, who was always telling her, Moremi, don't do this. This is what this man is trying to do. And Moremi was like, she was just acting like she had a blank brain, like she fell from the moon. Oh, don't worry, I'm just trying to help him. He's just trying to help me, that kind of thing, that kind of vibe. And it wasn't just going. And this man kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and until he almost had his way. After that, that was then when they saw themselves in the courts where the movie began. Okay. Like, guys, you guys need to watch it. Like, I can't even like start telling you guys the whole story because it's a long story and a very interesting one. But why I decided to make this review and also remember my own story, I already have good bumps, was that Moremi's story reminded me of my young self back in the days. Back in the days at Imo State University in Owerri, Nigeria. Guys, I suffered. In my first year as a freshman in school, I was young. I was 17 as at that time. So I wasn't even 18 yet. But that was when my whole trouble started. There was this particular lecturer who was married. This was the kind of man, let me say like Professor Lucien, who would be like every lady's dream. Okay, like tall, handsome. I still liked him as a person. But I wasn't thinking of any other thing. I know that also a lot of ladies wanted him and was going for him. He was really young. I think then he was 35. And then we were so young. Like I was 17. Can you imagine 17 and 35? So I already thought that he was, very mature. And the good thing was that he was married as at then. And this man was just on my neck. I think just like Moremi, the very first day he saw me, he just picked interest in me and was like, oh, what's your name? This, that. And we're all young. Lots of us then we were young. At least I had a group of friends. We were about 6. I think about 4 girls, 3 boys, like our group. And I was also like among the youngest, like the youngest, because even my classmates in school, like in my secondary school years, like were my senior with 1 year because I jumped from primary 5. I was actually among the youngest then, if not the youngest. Apart from that, I was like this serious student, of course a 17-year-old, not thinking of anything, didn't have a boyfriend, never had one. It was just my books, come to class, my books, go. And all of a sudden, we're going through lectures, everything was new to us. We were going through lectures, we're asking questions in the class, and this man would always pick on me and would be like, okay, he'll be like, okay, you Adama, you answer the question, what is this, and then we will answer. If I don't get it, like others will continue from there, a university kind of setting. And at the end of the lecture, he would be like, okay, see me in my office. And then I'll go to his office, and then he start asking questions like, Professor Lucien, like what? He'll be like, okay, do you have a boyfriend? This one, that one. I found that really uncomfortable. And in fact, even though I hadn't had a boyfriend as at that time, and I hadn't had that experience like Moremi had, at least she had finished like 3 or 4 years bachelor's degree. But I was just coming from secondary school. I was supposed to be naive and all that, but I wasn't naive. I knew what he was coming at. And sometimes when he would ask me to come to his office, I would go with my friends, and he knew all of us, we were always together, so he knew all of us. And he also knew one of my friends personally, like he knew her family or something like that. So he would be like, okay, what are you doing with these people? I asked you to come alone. I'll be like, oh sir, we were just like passing by, and then I decided to just come now. And he would ask me in front of them also, come alone. When you're coming, come alone. When I ask you to come alone. So he wasn't really like kind of hiding anything. And fast forward to everything that was happening, our very first exam in the school, we were very excited to take it, and it was an international relations course. That was actually what, you know, reminded me of everything, because it was also an international relations course that we were taking. And of course, you know, as friends, we sat together. Among my friends also, I was fortunate to be one of the people, like, you would ask, okay, what is this one, what is this one? And I'll be able to tell you. Like, I was able to like study, have the answers at my fingertips, so I didn't have like to worry about my exam kind of thing. So after the exam, to my greatest surprise, and all, you know, all my friends that we all sat together and we all knew what we wrote, they got like 70s and 80s. I got 41. Like, God, I was shocked. The results came out, it was pasted, and we went there and everybody was all happy. Oh, I got an A, I got an A. And guess what? I got an E. I'm like, what happened? Then this was the opportunity he had been looking for, and I went to him, of course alone. And then I went to him and said, like, sir, what is happening? I got a 41, like, I'm not supposed to get 41. I even mentioned to him, like, this person and this person, I was the one who told them what to write. I even had to, like, you know, give them the whole answer by myself. You know, like, when you finish writing and you're dictating to someone what to write, and you're telling someone what to write and giving the person the points. The person got a 70 something and me 41. I said, what's happening? And he said, you know, I've been calling you, I've been asking you to come, and you've been like meandering. Now you are here. And this was after school. This was around 3 p.m. I will never forget. And then he stood up from his chair, and then he came to me. I was sitting, you know, just like this, and then he came to me, and then he started touching my hair. I was like, oh my God, what is this? So he started touching my hair, and oh, that was not a good experience. He said, if you allow me, if you know what, you know why I've been calling you since, and if you don't allow me, then you would have this 41. But if you allow me, then I'll give you your mark. I said, but sir, that's my mark. You're just trying to withhold my mark. You're not giving me anything extra. And he showed me actually the result sheets that he wrote by himself, and I got a 78. So from 78, I got a 78, and from 78, you gave me the least score that was close to fail, because 41 was an E, and then after 41, 40, I think 40 was supposed to be an F or something. I've forgotten how they did that, but I was just, you know, in between fail and then an E. E was also supposed to be a fail also, but it's just a very weak pass, like let my people go kind of thing. I was so downtrodden. I told him, sir, I cannot do this. And then he started asking me, are you a virgin? Haven't you ever did this before? Don't you have a boyfriend? I was like, sir, I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. I'm not going to sit here to tell you whether I'm a virgin or not, but I don't have a boyfriend, and I do not intend to do this with you. Like, I was also that outspoken kind of person. You're not asking me to be your friend. You're just trying to make me do this so you can give me my mark back. And then he told me, well, we have 4 years in front of us. I'm not going to force you. I'm sure you'll come around. And then he said, you can go. I left his office, and my friends were waiting outside. And once I saw my friends, I started crying. So we went home. I told my parents, I told everybody, like I would just be singing this everywhere I went. And people would be giving me all kind of, you know, tell me all kind of things that I shouldn't worry, I should just study. But I studied. He was just giving me those low marks. And then fast forward to second semester, I also got an E in the course, just like that, because he never ever wanted me to pass. And then we were in second year, and it continued. He would call me to his office. Of course, I knew why he was calling me, and he would say, come by 3:30. Of course 3:30, nobody would be in the school anymore. And then you know, he had this cozy office, and then he would turn on the cozy dim light, and then he would reduce his, you know, and then he would lower his window blind, and then he would ask me to lock the door, lock the door, lock the door. I would, of course, I would lock the door, but something told me that he wasn't going to like force me, so I just did whatever he said. He would say like lock the door, then I would lock the door, and then he would start saying all sorts of things. He would see me walking on the street, like along the road somewhere, trying to find a taxi or something, and he would stop me, and he would say something like in Igbo. And he wasn't just the only one. Then our head of department that time would come to the class and say, you out. I don't know whether they had a meeting or he was just also interested in my plain old me. I didn't dress like, you know, I didn't dress anyhow. I've always been a very decent, you know, dresser. So I wouldn't say it's because of my dressing or because I'm the hottest chick in class. Which kind of chick? I wasn't even a chick at all. I was just a normal person coming to class. And one day when we were in the exam hall, we are having the head of department's course, and he just rushed and jumped onto my face, and I just thought I finished writing, and I just did something like this. And he jumped from the front. He jumped decks very fast, came to me, gave me minus 35. Like that minus 35. His course was a very difficult course for us already. I've forgotten actually the name of the course, but I know it was a development course, so it was always something difficult for us. And the man is a very strict man also, so he's a very strict marker. You would never write something that he would like, so we always ended up before this, because I was in third year at that time, so before this most of us would always have either a C or a D in the course. So you can imagine that kind of course. So if you're really good, you're intelligent, you would always have a C. So I always had a C or a D depending on, you know, how the exam was. But very few people had a B, and that was our course rep, because he was course rep. Of course we knew, because he was the course rep. Because he was the course rep, so he would always give him like, you know, normal, and some of his friends, he would always give them like normal, I don't know, and maybe some people that sorted, I don't know, but we would always have a C or a D, like the normal people that are not going to sort with money, or people that know him or nothing. So he gave me a minus 35, so I knew that would be an F already. So, and then he said if I wrote something on, so I wasn't the only one, he wrote on some other people's, mostly girls, all of us, I think mostly girls. So after he said we should meet him, okay, so after that we went to meet him one by one, of course not together, and then he asked me to turn around. I turned around, and then he said, okay, good, turn again. Then I turned, and then he said, I was like, sir? He said, which basically means I want to eat you. I'm like, sir, how possible is that? So I just blanked my mind. I acted as if I didn't know what he was saying. I said, sir, I don't understand what you're saying. What is that supposed to mean? He said I should go out. If I don't know what it is, I should go out and ask other people outside, and then come back to tell him what I think. But when he said that, I just knew that the course was already over for me. Like that would be an F, of course, because I wasn't going to let him eat me. So finally I graduated. That was what happened with me, and Citation reminded me of like something I had passed through. While watching it, I was just full of goosebumps. Like I was just like picturing everything that had happened to me before. Like Citation brought back memories from my university days. Citation kind of made me know exactly how vulnerable people are. You know, some people can be like, you know, people that don't have anything in mind, and they'll be just like, you know, so they'll just be like more and me, not thinking anything and just going with the flow, and then most of them would get hurt. Okay, so like honestly speaking, it wasn't a good experience. I felt for Moremi, even though it was acting. I felt like hitting Professor Lucien in the head. I felt like punching him, and Professor Lucien was also like someone with a very shady background, very shady past, not even past, very shady life kind of, you know. So you guys just need to go see the movie, okay? And this just reminded me of me. I was so young then. I wasn't 21. I graduated at 21 years, but I wasn't 21. I was rather 17 when my whole problem started. So that's the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button, and do not forget to click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload another video. And we'll see you again in my next video. Bye.